Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. If LeBron gets swept tonight, LeBron will be out of my top 15. Gone. See you later. You don't exist. Okay, because you're. Let me tell you something. There's people that done took LeBron out of the top 50. I'm getting comments and I'm hearing things. They done took LeBron out of the top 75. Wow. Just because his all the antics that he done did in his career, jumping team to team. Imagine this. Imagine this, right? Kobe. Let's do this. Let's do this, right? I mean, Kobe would never do nothing this crazy. For all the LeBron fans who think LeBron is better than Kobe because of some stat pattern, right? Stat pattern. Let's compare this, right? If you put Kobe on those Miami teams, how many championships does Kobe win? How many championships? A prime Kobe. Not the 2012-13. I'm talking about a prime Kobe when LeBron was in his prime and played with Miami, with Wade, Bosh, Allen, Battier, all these guys. It's so many guys I can't even remember. Because every year he would trade those guys out too. Haslam, Birdman, I forget this guy's name, the point guard. Mario Chalmers. All these type of guys that was. How many championships does Kobe win? Well, we don't really know. We figure about 4, right? At least the 4 seasons that LeBron was in Miami. And to me, just because Kobe has these guys practicing instead of playing on pure athleticism, and D Wade can actually take a step back a little bit, D Wade wouldn't hurt himself, right? So Kobe is going to win 4 championships at least in all 4 seasons. He's not going to get beat by the Mavs. I don't care what the Mavs did that year after Kobe won back-to-back championships. They like to throw that in Kobe's face that he got swept after winning back-to-back championships with no top 75 player in the toughest gauntlet ever in the West. This is what LeBron fans are proud of. Something like, oh, you got swept by Dirk. He just won back-to-back championships. They try to throw that stuff in Kobe's face after they won 3 championships. Oh, he shot like this, and they shut him down in that Detroit game, and they lost. They just won 3 championships in a row. Whoever won 4 championships in a row? Nobody, except for Bill Russell in the Celtics. So he was due. He just won back-to-back championships literally by himself with Gasol. So again, like I said, Kobe in his prime. Not after he just won back-to-back championships. We're talking about Kobe in his prime. He's winning 4 championships in a row in Miami with the Heat team that LeBron had. So let's go over here to Cleveland. Kobe goes to Cleveland, which he would never do anything that he would never do this. Michael Jordan would never do this. Dr. J would never do this. Kareem would never do this. Yeah, he left one time. No great player I know would just switch team to team to team to team. It's the same. Okay, Barkley did it. Barkley did it 3 times, but he was already basically old. How many championships would he win in Cleveland with Kyrie? Another good shooter. You had Love. He doesn't need Love to play another position and be a stretch center, right? Wasn't Love a center or something? Bro, now you're a stretch center. What? I'm a stretch center? Okay. Well, we know Love could shoot the 3 because, he did win a 3-point contest before he went and played with LeBron. But the thing is, he was versatile like that. But for the most part, he played inside. And then he just turned into a 3-point shooter after that. So he was on the wing or on the outside with these other 3-point shooters, so the lane would be wide open so LeBron could drive. Because that's what LeBron has to do. Drive. I'm figuring with that team in that weak East, and also the weak East that LeBron went to the finals, what, 8 straight times or something like that? I'm thinking Kobe is going to be setting NBA records as far as wins and losses. I'm being serious. I think they win like 75 games, especially in Miami. No doubt about that. No doubt about that against that weak East competition. 75 games. Because you can see the only competition LeBron had was the big three Celtics, and they were just tired and done. Remember, LeBron had the number one seed over them 2 years in a row while he was in Cleveland with no super team. By the time he got to Miami, them guys, I mean, they was making the playoffs. I think they went to the Western Conference Finals one year, right? They played them. I'm not sure, but I think they played them a couple times when LeBron was in Miami. But still, Kobe probably sets the wins and loss record of all time, maybe like 2 3 times in that weak East. LeBron didn't even come close to nothing like that because it's always like play, let's have fun, let's don't practice. Who cares if we could be number two, number three, number four seed and still win this conference? It's garbage. And we talking about Michael Jordan's expansion era? Wow. The Bulls might have won 82 games in the LeBron East, right? In the two tens East. Might have won 82 and 0. And then went to the playoffs and never lost a game also. Maybe not until the finals. I mean, you got to be kidding me. And this is what separates Michael Jordan from LeBron James. Because he always wanted to separate himself from Magic, from Bird, from Kareem, right? Jordan wanted the 6 championships, but he won. He can separate himself from Kareem because he's got 6 Finals MVPs, right? He's got a better score points per game than Kareem. He had all time historical performances in the finals. I think in all of them. You remember the flu game. Remember the last shot. You remember in 93, the 41 points per game. 92, the shoulder shrug. 91, the average, what, was it double digit assists or something like that? Um, Everything. It's all kind of things you can point to, but there's just like memorable moments all through those finals. Up and under move, all this stuff. Losing the first game to the Lakers and then basically blowing them off the floor the rest of the series. 2 3 peats. I mean, just like Michael Jordan about separating himself. Did they win like 72 games? I mean, 70 games twice? Let me look this up real quick. And basically impossible too. You take all that time off and come back and win 3 straight. That's basically impossible. Oh man, the arrow was weak, man. Well, how come he didn't win it when he first came back? Then they can't. These guys are idiots. NBA playoffs 1990. Yeah. And then the team you always have a problem with, Detroit. You didn't go run. You didn't go build no super team. You came back in '91 and you swept them. You swept them off the floor. You ended what was going to be a dynasty. Really, you ended what was going to be a dynasty. So let's look at this. So in the '90s, the Bulls won in '91, won 61 games, right? 92 won 67 games. 93 won 57. That was the only time in second place in the conference. And then you have, let me see, try to get 95, 96, 95, 96, 72. We all know that. And then 97, they won 69. And they almost had 70. And then 98 won 62. Wow. Wow. And you got to think too, they beat the most 60 win teams in NBA history um in the playoffs and in the finals. So when I talk about separate yourself, that's what I'm talking about. Not just individual, you know, stats and stuff like that. We're talking about winning these 60 games and beating all these 60 win teams in the playoffs. We're talking about only lost what? In 7 years, only lost one playoff series. Only what was it, in the 90s or something? Only lost Never lost 3 games in a row, something like that. I mean, you could just keep going on and on and on. How Michael Jordan was trying to separate himself from everybody else, right? In all kind of different ways, whether it was individually or team wise, everything like that. Michael Jordan was only played with one All Star teammate. That's incredible. Nobody can say that. Nobody can say that. That's a top 5 player, top 10 player, all that stuff like that. It's just so much separate. Look, LeBron wasn't trying to do this stuff. All LeBron was trying to prove was, I'm the greatest of all time because I could put up 27, 7, and 7. And then when you look at his statistical titles, that 27, 7, and 7 meant nothing. And then when you look at his NBA finals, that 27, 7, and 7 didn't mean nothing. When you look at all his sweeps, 27, 7, and 7 didn't mean nothing. All that means nothing. Nothing. Oh, yeah, he went to the finals 10 times and 8 times straight, but it just exposes how weak that era really is. It exposes how weak the East was because he got whooped once he had to play the East. I mean the West. It exposes how weak he is against competition, especially great competition. It exposes it not because he lost, it because the majority of the time he melted down. He melted down. So yeah, if you put Kobe on those Cavs teams in the 2000s, guess what? I think he wins at least 3 championships. I really do. I think he goes in the two. He wins 2 because 2015. I don't think he loses that one. And don't tell me about LeBron's guys being hurt. Why is his guys always hurt? I don't. Why is these guys always hurt in the first place? I've never seen this. I've never seen Scottie Pippen say, "I'm hurt. I'm not going to be able to play the finals." Never. This guy played with a back that he could barely jump and do anything. Okay, you can't make it during the regular season. I've never seen this stuff in the playoffs or the finals in the 90s. Isaiah Thomas jumping around on a messed up leg. You don't miss these games. So Kobe, again, he would have these guys practicing, practicing, and practicing. That way, when you get into these big games, right, you don't get hurt. That's why his guys is always getting hurt because they don't practice. Yeah, LeBron, for the most part, didn't get hurt in the finals because he's in the weight room. These other guys ain't in the weight room. If you look at these guys, some of them look like they never touched the weight. Go look at 90s games. Everybody was cut up, if not yoked up. Because you had a battle. You not only had to be skilled and have fundamentals, you had to earn your shot. And that's how this whole world is. Now everything is like given to you. Oh man, I feel sorry for these people. They should be given this. Nobody has to earn nothing. And these players today don't have to earn nothing. And then you can say, oh man, these people more skilled, man. How's that? I mean, if you take, for instance, if you took a guy and he was building something with a hammer, and eventually he got really fast and skilled doing it for so long with that hammer, be like, man, that guy's good. He's got good skills, fundamentals on how to build. And then they come along and say, well, we done found these power tools. Gonna give these guys the power tools. And then all of a sudden we're saying, oh man, that guy with the hammer, he was sorry. He wasn't fast. He ain't had no skills. He can't build that. He can't build that many houses as this guy can with the nail gun. That's what it's like. And people like Nick Wright actually pumped this, and JJ Redick, because any fool would know. What are you talking about? Even if you were young, and if the young people go along with it, they look like idiots because Nick Wright is back at his mansion laughing. These idiots really believe me. That's how they're talking to LeBron fans, like they're idiots. They're idiots. They're idiots. Because a real smart person would push back. Like, no, no way these guys are more skilled. They just look more skilled because they can travel, they can carry, they can double dribble. They don't have the same defense. They can spread the floor and just shoot. They can shoot 8 threes in a row and brick it. And it's not a bad shot. Nothing is a bad shot. There's no such thing as a bad shot. Nothing. So the more you shoot, okay, you're gonna hit what 38%, 30. No, I would say about 36%. Now it's like, great, you're a shooter. If you shoot 36% from three, you're a good shooter now. Shoot 38, you're great. Rarely you see anybody shooting 40% like Curry or Clay, like a great 3-point shooter. They just telling people to shoot the three because they don't have any fundamentals. And like I keep trying to tell you, they did not change the game to make the game go faster. They just realized there will never be an Alonzo Mourning, Ewing, Michael Jordan, Bird, Kareem, Magic, Wilt, Moses, Mikal, Scottie Pippen, Shaq, Anthony Hardaway. These guys didn't exist coming into the 2000s. They didn't exist. And all those great players in the 80s and 90s, those type of players didn't exist coming into the 2000s. So what happened? They found out that era, right? Probably about 2005, 6, they weren't going to be that good under the same defensive rules. So we got to change the defensive rules to make these guys more appealing. Take LeBron James. Couldn't make the playoffs his first 2 seasons. Why? Because of defensive rules. Nobody was going to just let him barrel down the lane and do layups. Once they changed the defensive rules, here he goes barreling down the lane doing layups and dunks. And then he started getting into the weight room, getting bigger. So he really couldn't be stopped by the time then because he got somewhat of a handle. So he became a star off of layups and dunks. With no resistance. That's what you got. So we got to make these guys look more skilled than what they was. And no, I'm not trying to, offend Kobe or nothing like that. But come on now. As soon as they change them defensive rules, Kobe start going the hell off. And dropping them 60-point games, those all them 40-point games, 50, 60, 70, 80, all those, right? Because the defensive rules were changed. But I do give him credit as far as he's still playing like Michael Jordan when he really didn't have to in that era once they changed the defensive rules. Am I trying to say that that era was soft as it is now? No. No. Not, it wasn't even soft as when it was 2016. It wasn't even that soft. That's why they got to throw in your face now. Shooters, shooters. They didn't have the shooters. Well, back then, wasn't nobody just gonna let you shoot in their face? Sorry, Reggie had to come off for like what? Reggie Miller had to come off for like 3 screens and still have a hand in his grill while he was shooting the ball. Nobody was just gonna let you shoot in their face. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They had shooters, but usually the shooter, was wide open coming off a screen or maybe a pick and roll or something like that, or somebody went to double somebody and he kicked it out to that open guy. Other than that, nobody's just gonna just let you sit out there and shoot threes. Once somebody saw that somebody hit like 2 threes in a row, time to clamp down on him. Time to clamp down on him. They ain't gonna leave that guy open. So basically, everybody had to earn their own points. Nobody left Michael Jordan open. Didn't matter who was guarding Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had to do a pump fake, up and under, fade away. First step, lose his defender, something like that. Go watch. I mean, go watch Bulls games. Nobody just let Michael Jordan get easy points. Whatever person was guarding Jordan, they could hand check him. They could put elbows in his back. They could do all that. I'm not trying to say they did it all the time, because now if you're gonna hand check me, sometimes I could just lose you. Or you try to put an elbow in my back in the post, I could spin off of it. So I'm not trying to say all the time, but yeah, a lot of times. So let's get back to this. Yeah. So yeah, Kobe, 2015. He doesn't lose that in 2016. Take your pick on 17 and 18. I don't know, but I can tell you what. He at least gets 2 championships, right? 2020, or no, my fault. The Lakers era, right? Especially when they had that super duper team, right? Melo, Howard, Westbrook. Oh boy, Kobe gets one that year. That's not even a question. And I think Kobe gets at least 2 championships while he's in LA, like LeBron has been. At least 2 championships easily with the teams that LeBron done had. It's easy. Easy. How many championships does LeBron get with the teams that Kobe had? Because Kobe only had, what, 2 championships those back-to-back years? I'm talking about when Kobe left Shaq. No, LeBron doesn't get no championships. I don't think so. If he melted down in 09, 010, he doesn't get no championship. So LeBron, if he gets swept tonight, I wouldn't care if he puts up 40 points, grab 10 rebounds, all that stuff. Because if he was a real team leader, he would just feed the beast. Feed AD. 4-quarter come, feed AD. What do people talking about AD disappear? Bro, you're the leader. You ain't that dude no more. You can stat pad. They'll let you, but not at the end of the game when the game is on the line. So if you was a real leader, you would just give the reins to AD and let him get 40. But what's going to happen is this guy is going to try to stat pad into a loss. I'm trying to tell you, this guy is going to stat pad into a sweep, and they're going to give him another reason why he could play next year. Oh, he's still playing at full potential, all this stuff. Watch. And we're going to talk about what's going to happen after this game if they get swept. Because we've already talked about this before. It's all planned and all scripted. What's going to happen next. It didn't matter if they lose this round, the next round, whatever round. It's still scripted what's going to happen next.